Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Happy Nityananda Trayodasi to everyone. Welcome for today's program. It is a very auspicious day of Nityananda Trayodasi, and we are very fortunate to have been viewing different houses in different areas performing the Abhishekam for Lord Gaurnitai. Lord Nityananda Prabhu is none other than Lord Balram himself, and he is our spiritual strength. He is the first expansion of Krishna. The only difference between Krishna and Balram, the only difference between Balram and Nityananda Prabhu is the bodily structure and the mood. Lord Krishna is in the mood of accepting service, while Balram or Nityananda Prabhu is always rendering transcendental loving service to the Lord. So he's very, very compassionate and merciful. So let us all pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu on this auspicious day to shower his choicest mercy upon all of us, so that we continue our devotional service with lots of love and devotion. Today's MC will be Shri Rupa Mataji. Over to you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I am audible, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Ramani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Visesa Sunyavadi Pachati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's and Mataji's, Dandavat pranams to all. Please accept my humble obeisances. During this pleasant evening, on behalf of Gaurangadi's Yatra, we welcome you all for the celebration of appearance day of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Before starting our program, firstly, I would like to thank His Grace Sri Ranga Prabhuji and Her Grace Gopikana Mataji for giving me this seva opportunity to be today's MC. Hare Krishna. Let's start our program with the blessings of all the Vaisnavas assembled here. Hare Krishna. Jai Gauranga, Jai Nityananda. Today is very, very auspicious day and very important day of all our Gaudiya Vaisnavas. What is the day today? Nityananda Trayodasi, which is the appearance day of Lord Sri Nityananda Prabhu. For the celebration of Nityananda Trayodasi, many program is coming up, like the special Kirtan about Lord Nityananda, Abhishekam ceremony, Bhoga Arti, and so on. So I request everybody to stay with us till the end of the program and get the blessings of Lord Gauranga Prabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Sri Nityananda Trayodasi is that auspicious appearance day of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. The Supreme Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip, West Bengal, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to establish the Sankirtana movement. To help the Supreme Lord in his mission, Lord Balarama appeared as Nityananda Prabhu. He assisted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by spreading the holy name of the Lord throughout Bengal. Nityananda Prabhu is none other than Balaram, and Balaram is the first expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ekai Swarupa Dornihe Binda Matra Kaya Adya Kaya Krishna Leela Sahaya. Krishna and Balaram are one and the same identity. They differ only in form. Lord Balarama is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists in Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Nityananda aham bande karne lambita mauktikam chaitanya graja rupena pavitriti krita bhutalam. I bow to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who has a pearl earring suspended from one of his ears, who is the elder brother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and who is the purifier of the earth. The Bhagavad Purana states that in the age of Kali, people who are bestowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associate by performing Sankirtana Yajna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot be understood or approached without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, even if he worships Gauranga for 100 lifetimes. Sometimes Gauranga may punish someone, but Nityananda Prabhu protect him. But if Nityananda Prabhu punish someone, then Gauranga will never accept him. He who is the cardinal guru of universe, Nityananda Prabhu serves as an mediator between Mahaprabhu and the devotee. Just as Balaram is Lord Krishna's second body, so too is Nityananda Rama, the second body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All other forms and expansions of the Lord emanate from his secondary body. Nityananda is original Sankarshana, Adi Purusha, Chatur Vyuha, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, Kshirodasayi Vishnu, and Lakshmana. He is the entire Paravyoma, Vaikunta, and Krishna Loka, the very substance of the spiritual world. As a Sesha, he expands into the Lord's umbrella, slippers, conch, pillows, garments, sacred thread, throne, and so on. He facilitates the Lord's Leela in an unfathomable capacity. In manifested earthly Leela, Nityananda Prabhu is senior to Mahaprabhu by more than a decade. He is status quo, and his eyes, intoxicated with love, roll fiercely under his eyelids with the intensity of the darling hummingbirds. I offer pranama to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who bestows the bliss of divine love, who eliminates the filth of the age of Kali, and who is the master of Janavadevi. On Trayodasi Tithi of the auspicious Maha month, just after Vasant Panchami, when the earth is covered in beautiful and fragrant flowers, blooming everywhere, the moon of Nityananda Ray arose from the womb of Devi Padmavati in the most sanctified village of Ekachakra, giving unlimited bliss to Hadai Pandit, Lord Nityananda's father, and all the other Vaisnavas. Lord Nityananda performed his inconceivably enchanting and amazing pastimes first in Ekachakra, after which he travelled to various places of pilgrimage and then joined Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sridham Mayapur. And together the two brothers drowned the entire universe in the loud and ecstatic chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So let us pray Lord Gauranga and Nityananda Prabhu to shower their abundant mercy to all of us, to be always absorbed in the mood of serving them. Hare Krishna. Without any delay, now let's start our program with melodious Kirtan. This age is an ocean of faults, so many adverse situations. Krishna Kirtan is the only means for transcending the material energy and coming to the platform of spiritual realization. The Lord empowers a specific means of self-realization according to the need of the age. In this age, the holy name is everything. Lord Chaitanya is garlanding the world with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The entire Sankirtana movement is a garland of Radharani's love for Krishna. There are more ways to glorify the Lord, but Sankirtana is the most complete. The Kirtan will be conducted by our Gaurangadesh Yatra Mataji's Haribol. Over to you, Vrindanantri Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Mataji. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shri संकीर्तन की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री श्री नित्यानंद त्रयोदशी महोत्सव की जय, निताय गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Now we will be displaying Gaurangadesh Yatra Mataji's Kirtan on Lord Nityananda. Kindly allow. Mataji, please allow me to share the screen.
Done, Mataji.
Thank you.
Start, no?
Okay.
This beautiful Bengali song written by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakura, and it is taken from Nityananda Charitamrita.
Translation, refrain. Nitya is within and without. He is everywhere within this world. He is the lover and he is the sweetheart.
Everyone says it. Nitya is my regulative principles, my object of worship, and the light of my eyes. Nitya is in all 10 directions. In fact, he fills all the 3 worlds.
Nitai as Ananga Manjari eternally serves sweet Srimati Radhika. He is not different from Baladeva, whose beautiful face resembles millions of moons and is surrounded by Sakas and Sakhis.
The sister of Radharani, Ananga Manjari, is very dear to Sri Shyama, and she is the life and soul of all the Sakhis. She decorates the arena of the temple named Mani Mandira.
Nitai sustains the Yoga Pita and becomes a throne for the Lord to rest on. Nitai is also the dress and ornaments.
He enjoys pastime with the Sakhis. What more can I say? Nitai is the eyes, mouth and limbs of everyone. Nitai, Nitai, Nitai. Nitai, I see only Nitai dancing.
Raising my hand and chanting Nitai, I will go to Braja. I, Vrindavan Das, only request Nitai to kindly never leave me.
Jai
Hari Hari Bol. What a wonderful Kirtan, Mataji. Thanks to Vrindanatri Mataji and team for drowning us with ecstatic Kirtan, describing the glories of the Lord accompanied by musical instruments such as harmonium, kartal and mirdanga, piercing our heart. No words to say. Hari Hari. Anyone who hears the Kirtan is greatly benefited, as the sound vibration gradually acts to cleanse the heart of greed, envy, lust, anger, and other obstacles to a peaceful life. Wow, wonderful Kirtan Matajis. Thank you once again for all Matajis. Hare Krishna. Our next agenda is bathing ceremony of Gauranitai deities. In our present state, it is not possible to see the Lord in his spiritual form because our material eyes and senses cannot conceive of a spiritual form. Yet, those devotees who want to see him by means of material vision are favored by the Lord, who appears in a so-called material form such as Archa Vigraha to accept his devotees' service. So the Lord's form, although engraved from wood, stone, or earth, are not idols. During Abhisekam, Brahma Samhita recitation will be sung. It is the prayer of the Lord during Abhisekam. And the Brahma Samhita recited by His Grace Prasanna Vasudev Prabhu and Her Grace Rata Saki Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshavriteshu Suravira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venam Kwanantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Barhavatam Samastitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Kotika Maniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalasat Manamala Yavam Shirat Ratnangadam Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam Shamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitamachyutamanadi Manantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayoratapi Manaso Muni Pungavanam Sopyasti Yat Prapadasimna Vichintya Tattve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Saurashritim Jagadanda Kotam Yakchastirasti Jagadanda Chayaya Dantaha Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yadbhava Bhavita Diyo Manujastataiva सम्प्राप्य रूपमहिमा शनयानभूषः सुप्तेर्यमेव निगमप्रतिदैस्तुवन्ति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मय रस प्रतिभाविताभिः ताभिर्येव निजरूपतया कलाभिः गोलोक एव निवसत्यखिलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि प्रेमाञ्जनज्जुरितभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्तः सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि रामादिमूर्तिषु कलानियमेन तिष्ठन् नानावतारमकरोद्भुवनेषु किन्तु कृष्ण स्वयं समभवत् परमापुमान्यो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्य प्रभा प्रभवतो जगदन्तकोटि कोटिष्वशेषवसुधादिविभूतिभिन्नम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमनन्तमशेषभूतम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि माया हि यस्य जगदन्तसतानि सूते त्रैगुण्य तद्विषयवेदवितायमाना सत्त्वावलम्बि परसत्त्वं विशुद्धसत्त्वम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मय रसात्मतया मनाशु यः प्राणिनां प्रतिफलं स्मरतानुपेत्य लीलायितेन भुवनानि जयत्यजस्रम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि गोलोकनाम्नि निजजामितलेशतस्य देवी महेश हरिधाम सुतेषु तेषु ते ते प्रभावनिचया विहिताश्च येन गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि सृष्टि प्रलय साधन शक्तिरेक चाये वयस्य भुवनानि विवर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य च तेष्टतेष गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि क्षीरं यथा दधिविकार विशेषयोगा संजायते न हि तथा पृथगस्ति हेतो यः सम्भूतमपि तथा समुपेत्य कार्यात् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि दीपाचिरेव हि दशान्तरमभ्युपेत्य दीपायते विविधहेतु समानधर्मा यस्तग्रहेव हि च विष्णुतयाभिभाति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यः कारणात् नवजले भजति स्म योगा निद्रामनन्त जगदन्त सरोमकूपः आधारशक्तिमवलम्ब्य परां स्वमूर्तिम् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्यैकनिश्वसितकालमतावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदन्तनाथः विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि भास्वान् यथास्म सकलेषु निजेषु तेजः स्वीयं कियत् प्रकटयति अपि तद्वत्र ब्रह्माय एष जगदन्तविधानकर्ता गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यत्पादपल्लवयुगं विनिधाय कुम्भ द्वन्द्वे प्रणाम समये सगनाधिराजः विघ्नान् विहन्तुमलमस्य जगत्त्रयस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अग्निर्मही गगनमम्बुमरुद्दिशश्च कालस्तथात्ममनसीति जगत्त्रयाणि यस्माद्भवन्ति विभवन्ति विशन्त्ययं च गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यच्चक्षुरेश सविता सकलाग्रहाणा राजा समस्तसुरमूर्तिरशेष तेजाः यस्यज्ञया भ्रमति संवृतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि धर्मोत्तपापनिचयश्रुतयस्तपांसि ब्रह्मादिकीटपतगावदयश्च जीवाः यद्दत्र मात्र विभव प्रकट प्रभाव गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्मिन्द्रगोपमतवेन्द्रमहो स्वकर्मा बन्धानुरूपफलभाजनमातनोति कर्माणि निग्रहति किन्तु च भक्तिभाजा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यं क्रोधकामसहज प्रणयादि वात्सल्यमोह गुरु गौरव सेव्य भावै संचिन्त्य तस्य सदृशं तनुमापुरेते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि श्रेया कान्ता कान्ता परमपुरुष कल्पतरवो द्रुमा भूमिश्चिन्तामणि गणमयि तोयममृतम् कथागानं नाट्यं गमनमपि वंशि प्रियसखी चिदानन्दं ज्योति परमपि तदस्वाद्यमपि च श्रेया कान्ता कान्ता परमपुरुष कल्पतरवो द्रुमा भूमिश्चिन्तामणि गणमयि तोयममृतम् कथागानं नाट्यं गमनमपि वंशि प्रियसखी चिदानन्दं ज्योति परमपि तदस्वाद्यमपि च श्रेया कान्ता कान्ता परमपुरुष कल्पतरवो द्रुमा भूमिश्चिन्तामणि गणमयि तोयममृतम् कथागानं नाट्यं गमनमपि वंशि प्रियसखी चिदानन्दं ज्योति परमपि तदस्वाद्यमपि च ईश्वरः परमः कृष्णः सच्चिदानन्द विग्रहः अनादिरादिर्गोविन्द सर्वकारणकारणम् हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्णा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Mataji, would you like us to continue, or are we done with time? Shri Rupa Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji. 1 minute, Mataji. 1 minute.
Sure.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji?
Please continue, Mataji.
Can you give us an indication of as to how long we should sing?
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, we can start the pravachan. We can start the pravachan now. Hare Krishna, we can start the pravachan. Hare Krishna. We can start the pravachan.
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama
Shri Nityananda Trayodasi Maha-Mahotsava ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Nitai Gaur.
Hari Hari, thank you, His Grace Prasanna Vasudev Prabhu and Her Grace Radhasaki Mataji for beautifully reciting the Brahma Samhita, followed by Hare Krishna Mahamantra, accompanied by Vaishnavi Priyanka and Maniharan. Thank you, Matajis and Prabhu. Hare Krishna. While the deities were getting ready, let's hear a special pravachan from His Grace Bhagwan Balaji Prabhu, who is always enthusiastic in giving pravachan, doing aarti and so on. Welcome Prabhuji. 2 years not enough, need many years to hear the glorious pastimes of the Lord. Requesting everyone to listen the katha by focusing the mind on the Lord. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Danda pranams to all. Om Ajnanatimiram Dasya Jnananjana Salakya Sakshurudpilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthavitam Yena Bhutali Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Raghunath Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishamanusute Devi Brahmami Haripriye Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Paditana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Dinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasharani Nirvasisha Shunyamadi Vashayate Shatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So let me offer my humble obeisances to all, especially to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. We are celebrating the Nityananda Trayodasi. It is the appearance of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So as we all know, Lord Nityananda Prabhu is none other than Lord Balram, or he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he is in the mode of servitor. He is a servitor Godhead. He is in the mood of serving Lord Sri Krishna. So what's the speciality between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu? Kaviraj Goswami says, they are like the two lords have risen in Gauda like sun and moon rising simultaneously. So we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is compared to sun. He rises in the morning, it's so beautiful, and when moon is full moon especially, it is more enchanting. Imagine both of them are rising simultaneously. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like sun, and his mercy is given to everyone, including small children. Whereas Lord Nityananda Prabhu is like full moon, and the speciality is like a soothing rays, that it gives cooling, refreshing feeling to us. So we know the song, right? Nitai Pada Kamala, Koti Chandra Shashitala, right? Imagine 1 crore moon or then it is rising, then how soothing or relieving we will feel. So the speciality is, when we take the shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, we feel the relief from the pangs of material miseries. That's how we feel the soothing, relieving feeling we will have. Because Nityananda Prabhu is the embodiment of 3 principles. Let us see what are all the principles of Nityananda Prabhu. The first principle is happiness. He is always happy and he is blissful. So we all know, if we ask a student, why are you studying, right? Then he says, I need a lot of money. Then we say, why do you need a lot of money? Then he'll say, I need a car, I need a house. Then if you ask him, why do you need all these things? Then ultimately he will say, I need happiness. That's why we need all these things, right? And it's a universal thirst that everyone is looking for happiness. It's not about the students, it's about everyone. Everyone is looking for happiness. Whether it's a small ant which is carrying a load of a sweet in his head, or a CEO of a company, right? Somewhere between both are looking for happiness. The ant may be going here and there within the house carrying some sweets or something like that, but CEO may be going in the airplane. So in fact, when he is going in the airplane, many people glorify them, saying that the CEO is always in the airplane, is always flying, most of his life is in traveling. So they just glorify. But if we see from an unbiased perspective, basically he is also like an ant. He is also running around, and ant is also running around. Everything is ultimately looking around for happiness. Right? There is no difference. Ultimately it looks for happiness, right? But all our endeavors, whatever happiness we are getting, the so-called happiness, it's not even happiness, it's a so-called happiness we get is a tiny drop. Just imagine if you are in a desert, and if we get 1 drop of water, it's only going to increase our thirst. It's not going to solve our thirst, right? It's going to increase our thirst. So the so-called happiness we get is actually it only frustrates us. We know the story in Mahabharata, right? There is a person hanging in a tree where there is a tiger on the top and python is in the down, and the rats are biting wherever he is holding onto the branch. It's cutting the branch, but he gets a drop of honey from the honeycomb or whatever is there in the top. He gets a drop of honey and he feels that this is a life and the life is worth. He don't know the danger he is in, but he feels this is a life's worth. And he thinks, oh, so much of happiness, right? I may get even, right? That's how the precarious condition we are in. Because the material world is basically created in such a way, literally it always frustrates us. We can never be happy. So what is the solution? So by one way we can get happiness in this world. How do we get this? We know the prayer we are singing in the morning, right? Samsara Dava Nalanita Loka. So the material world is like a blazing forest fire. And the spiritual master is a rain cloud of mercy. Praptasya kalyana gunanavasya vande guru shri sharanaravattam. If we take the shelter of the spiritual master, we can get relief from the blazing fire of material existence. So spiritual master is the personality who brings mercy of Supreme Personality to our life. We actually give, so that's what gives us the happiness. If at all there is any happiness in this material world, it is only when we experience the mercy of the spiritual master. Therefore, our only hope is the spiritual master's mercy, who is none other than Nityananda Prabhu. So because Nityananda Prabhu is Balram, who is the origin of all Bala or strength, who is also the original Adi Guru. So we need to surrender to him. Then only we will get the happiness. Because therefore the search of happiness is completed when we get the shelter of Guru and connect with Nityananda Prabhu. So it's not that directly we can go to Nityananda Prabhu. We can go to Nityananda Prabhu. We get his mercy only through the Guru. Why he is always happy actually? In fact, the name itself says Nityananda, Nitya Ananda. What is the meaning? Eternally bliss or always happy. So there is no one more happier than Nityananda Prabhu. He is supremely blissful. So Narottama Das sings, Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Valana Karo Ami Bade Dukhi. Ami Bade Dukhi. I am very, very sad. But my dear Lord Nityananda, Premananda, you are full of love for Krishna. And Sukhi, you are the most happiest person. Kripa Valana Karo. Please cast your mercy upon this fallen soul, because I am Ami Bade Dukhi. I am very, very sad because I am suffering in this material world. This is the first principle. Nityananda Prabhu, the principle is the principle of happiness. Because everyone wants happiness, right? It was there 5,000 years ago when Krishna was there, when Kali Yuga started, 500 years ago when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. Now it is there, everyone wants. Even after 427,000 years when Kali Yuga is going to complete, it will continue. Therefore, this principle that exists at all time, place, and it is the truth of happiness. Everyone wants happiness. This is the first principle. Right? It's also mentioned that Nityananda Prabhu is Avaduta Shiromani. He is also called as Avaduta Shiromani. He is the best of Avadutas. That is transcendentally intoxicated person. He is intoxicated means he is intoxicated with love of God. We should pay obeisances because he is Sarvananda Parakrama. That is, he can make everyone happy and blissful. How? Through Harinam. He is giving the holy name to everyone. So this is very important because all Vedas or Upanishads talk about core of our existence, which is always we are blissful. And also Upanishad says we have different level of consciousness. Some people think only about food. So they are called Annamaya Kosh. That is lower level of consciousness. Some people may be little higher, think about protecting themselves, Pranamayi Kosh. Then you have Dhyanamayi, Vijnanamayi, and ultimately Anandamayi. Looking for supreme bliss. So every soul is eternally bliss, Sachidananda, full of knowledge and bliss. So that Ananda that we are desperately seeking and we experience when we realize our spiritual identity, and that happiness we experience is a drop of the ocean. What is that ocean, or who is the ocean? It's Lord Nityananda. So we are going to experience a drop by realizing our spiritual identity. That's only a drop. But Nityananda is the ocean. So we know how much blissful he is or how much happy he is. The most blissful personality, and he gives that bliss through our spiritual master. So when we devotees serve the spiritual master or remember his instructions or his pastimes or carry out his orders, the devotees experience that Ananda. It is difficult for a materialistic person to figure this out. Right? It's like the devotee's mood, it's there in the 4th canto of Bhagavatam. The devotee's mood is like a bumblebee. once it gets the nectar from the Parijata flower, it doesn't go anywhere else. It doesn't need actually, because it got the ultimate. Therefore, we get the shelter of lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. What other significance that we want? I mean, anything else we want. Everything else is insignificant. So, basis of that happiness will be to serve the spiritual master. It's not about what we get, but how to serve. Since Lord Nityananda Prabhu is the servitor God, and this service gives Ananda to us. Krishna. Okay. And also Nityananda Prabhu is serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in different rasas. He was an elder brother, so he used to scold him, and he used to play with him also, and he also wants to serve him. In fact, when the Brahma Vivaha Leela happened, everyone was experiencing the blissfulness. Even Balram was experiencing, and he understood that this is coming because of the internal potency of Krishna. Because what else in this world can bewilder Balram? So he's acknowledging that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the position of Lord Nityananda Prabhu or Balram. And also Lord Nityananda Prabhu always takes pleasure in giving pleasure to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? We know the story, right? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Vrindavan, wanted to go to Vrindavan, but he also don't want to upset Sachimata or Advaita Acharya. So Nityananda Prabhu knows, that's why he diverted him from going to Vrindavan. He diverted them, so he came back to Advaita Acharya and Sachimata. So that Advaita Acharya can do kirtan or do service to him, and also Sachimata can cook for him. So he knows, because he knows what pleasure he should give it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by serving him. So, and also we will see now another shining quality of Nityananda Prabhu, which is so special. He is supremely happy and expert in serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is pleasing the Lord in all respects, and also expands the circle to include everyone to serve the Lord. It's not that he only wants to experience the bliss. He also wants to put everybody into it and to serve the Lord. That's a very, very special quality or shining quality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This means he's engaging everyone in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He tries to add as many people as possible in serving the Lord. So he is so merciful. This quality is very special. In fact, he is more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more merciful, right? We say Namo Mahavadanyaya. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is merciful, and even more merciful is Nityananda Prabhu. So, of course, both are merciful. And he is a Karuna Sindhu. He is the ocean of mercy. He gives the most to fallen, also the highest pleasure. Most to fallen to the highest pleasure. He is like, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu is like, they just opened the door which was there, which was closed. We don't want to open the door. When they open the door, then the mercy is flying. Flowing. They got the love for Krishna. So they are bestowing so much mercy on the fallen souls. So we know the story of Jagai and Madai. So I don't want to, at the time, go into the story of Jagai and Madai. He delivered most fallen souls getting the highest position. Right? When Nityananda Prabhu was hit with the pot, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very angry. He wanted to kill them. So, but Nityananda Prabhu said the positive. He did not say, "Oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, kill him because he hit me." He said, he just stopped Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And you see the positive, saying only Jagai saved me. Instead of saying Madai hit me, he said Jagai saved me. He said when Madai hit me, again Jagai is the one who stopped him. The blood you are seeing is just an accident. So you don't need to worry, not Madai who caused this. Actually, it's just an accident. I am not feeling any pain. Then why are you getting little hyper? He told Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He tried to pacify Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Jagai got the mercy, then Madai also fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You hit my beloved Nityananda Prabhu and he is bleeding." When Madai asked, in previous avatars, you liberated so many people who fought with you. But why are you now trying to kill us? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, that is different. You are not fighting with me, or you didn't hit me, but you my beloved Nityananda Prabhu. Let me declare to you that Nityananda Prabhu is more dearer to me than myself. This is Lord Nityananda Prabhu's special position. He is such a great that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declares he is more dearer to him than himself. So that is the position. Then let me move on to the most amazing combination what Nityananda Prabhu is having. We are still in the first principle of happiness. Just imagine if someone is having something which the world wants. Everybody wants. He is having something which the world wants, right? And this person has the whole world wants, and he is giving to everyone, even if they don't want. So imagine, nobody will do that. If they are having something which the world wants, then that must be something precious. So even if others don't want, he wants to give. That is a combination which generally will not do. People will give what they don't want. They will not give what others want. So what will we think of such a person? He is the most special person. This combination is very deadly, right? I mean, very, very unique. That he has something which is precious and he wants to give it to others. This combination is very difficult. Most people, if they have something which everybody else wants, what they will do? They will hold it. And they will give only something useless. So that way Lord Nityananda Prabhu is very, very special. Then what is that happiness? What is that he is having? Which everyone wants is the happiness that we said. Everybody wants it, and he is the one who wants to share it with everyone and everyone. He is mad at Krishna. And he is the Kripa or mercy avatar. He doesn't consider who is high class or who is low class. He never considers that. So this is the first quality that Nityananda Prabhu has, that we discussed, that is happiness. So he is full of happiness, bliss and everything. Now, how to apply this principle in our life as sadhakas, and how can we become happy? We need to do three things. One, we need to receive it in simple term, that mercy, that we should pray to him, please give me this. Just like a grass appreciates the rain but not the concrete, right? We should not be like a concrete. So we should take the mercy flowing like a grass, not a concrete. Then what we should do second, we should receive it and then correct ourselves. We should acknowledge that and we correct ourselves. And we should not demand. We should not say mercy is not demanded, it is just given. Right? So what is the proof that we have the mercy is we are celebrating today Nityananda Trayodasi. That itself is a costless mercy. So once we receive, we need to rectify us. We should not do any more sin. That is very, very important. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Madai, he said no more sin. Okay, now do kirtan, but no more sin. So when we receive, we should not do more sins. That is the second principle. And then third, if we keep it within ourselves, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Nityananda Prabhu will not be happy. To make them happy, we should distribute. That is the three things we should remember if we want to be happy. First principle is happiness. Then we should receive that happiness which is flowing through the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. And then we need to rectify ourselves from all the sins. We should not commit more sins. And then we should distribute also. Those who are miserly and don't want to distribute Krishna to everyone, then he will not receive the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Right? Maybe we will do so many things, sadhanas, we may be perfect, but if we don't distribute, then we will not get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. So the first principle is happiness. What is the second principle? Is Nityananda Prabhu is the embodiment of chanting the holy name. There are many examples how Nityananda Prabhu was intoxicated with holy name. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, he go to Navadip and preach. He went with his whole, all associates, Gadadhar Das, Raghunath Vaidya, Sri Krishna Pandit, Gauradas, etc. They will be only chanting. And when they were going to even Bengal, they forgot the way because they were dancing and chanting. They forgot the way. Halfway through, they will ask how to go to Navadip. They will say, oh, you are wrong by 30 miles. So they will go back 30 miles. But they don't care because they were always chanting and dancing. They will go somewhere, then 45 miles, again come back. 20 miles, again come back. They never went directly. So they went to different places but they didn't. They were dancing, and when they went to Bengal also, they were dancing like the whole world was shaking. So there are a lot of pastimes. Even with the time, I have to cut short my this thing. So even when we see their associates were more excited. They used to go and they jump. They go to the forest and they catch tiger's tail, and they will give 2 or 3. They beat the tiger and say, "Please chant Hari." And they will jump into the water. They will take the crocodile and then they will say, chant Hari. So that is the mood of even their associates. Not only Nityananda Prabhu, their associate. They will. I heard they lift the tree and they will keep it like a flute. So much of ecstasy they were having. The Nityananda Prabhu and his associates. So how do we apply this principle in our life? It's very simple. First, we have to be attentive to the holy name. This is the principle. When we are attentive to chanting, we experience the happiness or connect to the holy name. We need to remember that our consciousness, when we chant, go higher than the problems. See, it is like this. Your consciousness is here, your problem is here. But if the gap is less, when problem goes up, then consciousness goes down, or problem goes up, then we will be in depression. But what we have to do, the problems we cannot stop. It will be keep coming. So we need to increase our consciousness. So when the consciousness goes higher, irrespective of what happens to the problem, we will not have the desperation. So that is what we need to understand. So our consciousness can go up only by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So attentive chanting is very important. Just listening to the holy name is very important. We can pray at our level instead of asking, right? Sometimes we feel we go to Krishna or Nityananda Prabhu and ask, Nityananda Prabhu, please give me prema. Then we ourselves will be thinking, do you think he will be listening to us? We are asking for something which is beyond our capacity. Right? We may be thinking ourselves, we are not qualified. So we should ask at our level. See, if we think we cannot get prema, then we have to ask for enthusiasm to chant. Or we need to ask for giving us the faith. So we should ask at our level. Straight away going and asking, we chanted only one round today and go and ask, can you please give me prema? I am chanting one round every 1 year. Please give me prema or bhakti, right? So it doesn't work. So we need to ask at our level to give enthusiasm or faith. And the last principle, the third principle is the humility. Nityananda Prabhu is the embodiment of humility. When war was going on between Ram and Ravan, and Lakshman fell unconscious, and then he was weighted by Hanuman, the first thing Lakshman said is kill Ravan. Right? But when he took birth when he came as Nityananda Prabhu, he said, don't kill Madai, even though he hit me. So that much merciful he is. Right? So we saw Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Hiranyakashipu, they all are embodiment of different anarthas, right? What is the anarthas? Hiranyaksha was greed. Hiranyakashipu was pride. Ravana was lust, Kumbhakarna illusion, Shishupal was envy, Dandavakra anger. So the Lord also came with different weapons to kill them. But all the 6 anarthas were together. They were there with Jagai and Madai. Then how did Lord kill them? He killed only the propensity by the holy name of chanting Hare Krishna Maha-Mantra. So Nityananda Prabhu was beaten, but he wants to save Jagai Madai to get rid of their anartha. So we should also be servant of the servant to develop that humility. We cannot approach directly Krishna. We can approach only through devotees. So we have seen so many Goswamis, Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur in Ramkeli. They all Goswamis exhibited these qualities. So, if Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate also fell down one time, Kala Krishna Das, but still Nityananda Prabhu recommended him to get into the service of Nityananda Prabhu. I don't have time now to elaborate the story. So he also spoke to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give service to him, even though he was rejected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So these are the three principles we discussed today. First is happiness. We can access this by receiving or rectifying ourselves and distributing, sharing it with others. The second principle of holy name, we can apply the principle of holy name by attentive chanting and offering realistic prayers with whatever level we are at. And the third principle is humility, and we can access this principle by taking shelter of all the Vaishnavas. The good example of all this is Srila Prabhupada. He was the embodiment of all these qualities, because he also survived an attack like Jagai Madai by students, I think Canada or something, but he survived. And also he could stay in Vrindavan, but he went to all the places like Nityananda Prabhu, right? He went to all the places, even though it is risky, and distributed the mercy. And he was also in the mood of Nityananda Prabhu, merciful, humility and tolerant. Tolerant we don't need to say, because he was living among the hippies. Right? Hippies. So, we are fortunate that we are living in an age where Srila Prabhupada was there and we got his mercy. And to conclude, we discussed three topics once again. Identity of Nityananda Prabhu, how he is none other than Balram, and he is carrying the mood of servitor to Supreme Lord, and how Nityananda Prabhu is the embodiment of three principles. He is the most happy person and most charitable or benevolent person. And to access this happiness, what we have to do is we have to receive this gift and rectify ourselves and no more sinning, and then tell others about Krishna. The second principle is the holy name, holy name of Lord Krishna. We mean like Lord Nityananda Prabhu was intoxicated by Krishna's name, and we can also do the same. Third principle is humility. We saw how Nityananda Prabhu was tolerant and accepted so many inconveniences for distributing the holy name. We can also follow the same and his associates. So Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu opened the gates to go back to Godhead, but we should not be like a prisoners sitting inside the gate. We should go out and come out of and take the mercy which is flowing from both Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So to conclude, someone said if we have to go back to Godhead is our goal, and we have to pass an examination, and if Krishna is the examiner, then we should score 100%. If you have to go back to Godhead and Krishna is the examiner. But if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the examiner, you don't need to score 100%. You just write the exam. That is enough, because he gives the mercy. Just write exam. I'll take you to back. Take you to Godhead. But if Nityananda Prabhu is the examiner, you don't need to even write exam. You just have to remember the roll number. What we need to remember? Identify ourselves as, the roll number is identify ourselves as servant of Krishna. That is enough to go back to Godhead. So that much of mercy we will get from Nityananda Prabhu. So this way we can plead Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and all our acharyas in Parampara and go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari. What a wonderful pravachan, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for making all of us immersed in the pool of ecstasy. Hari Bol. Nityananda Trayodasi Maha-Mahotsavam ki Jai. Now we are going to have our Bhoga Arati. Request everybody to keep your Bhoga ready.
Hare Krishna.
1 minute. Yeah. Patram puspam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktya upahurtam asnam prayata manaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. In the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna explains that only the remains of sacrifice are purified and fit for consumption by those who are seeking advancement in life and release from the clutches of the material entanglement. Those who do not make an offering of their food, he says in the same verse, are eating only sin. Now, Bogarti song sung by His Grace Bangi Mataji. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
भज भगत वत्सल श्री गौर हरि 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 श्री गौर हरि सुखी गोष्ठ बिहारी श्री गौर हरि सुखी गोष्ठ बिहारी नंद यशोमति चित हरि नंद यशोमति चित हरि भगत वत्सल श्री गौर हरि भज भगत वत्सल श्री गौर हरि भज भगत वत्सल श्री गौर हरि भज भगत वत्सल श्री गौर हरि बेला बोलो दामोदर हाय सये कानो बेला बोलो दामोदर हाय से कानो भोगा मंदिरे बोशी कोर हो भोजानो भोगा मंदिरे बोशी कोर हो भोजानो नंदिरणी देसे वैसे गिरी बरदारी बलदेव सख सख पैसे सारी सारी भज भगत वत्सल श्री गौर हरि 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 शुद्ध सकति बाजी ललित कुष्मांडा सकति बाजी ललित कुष्मांडा डाली दला दुख तुम्बी दधि मोच कंधा डाली दला दुख तुम्बी दधि मोच कंधा भज भगत वत्सल श्री गौर हरि 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 मक्का बोरा मासा बोरा रोटी का घृताना सशी कुली पृष्ठ कहती पूरी पैसाना कर्पूर अमृत केली रंबाही रसारा अमृत रसाला नील द्वादश प्रकारा भज भगत वत्सल श्री गौर हरि भज भगत वत्सल श्री गौर हरि भज भगत वत्सल श्री गौर हरि लुची चीनी सातुरी लड्डू रस पाली भोजन कोरे न कृष्ण होये दूध खाली राधिकार पक्क हಣ್ಣ विविध व्यंजन परमहानंदे कृष्ण कोरे न भोजन चाले बाले लड्डू खाए श्रीमद मंगल बगल बजाए हारा दिया हरि बोलो भज भगत महामहोत्सव की जय, श्री भोग आरती की जय।
Thank you, Her Grace Subhangi Mataji, for wonderful Kirtan. Hari Hari. Next, we are going to have a main arti sung by His Grace Bhagwan Govind Prabhu. Krishna Prabhu, are you ready?
Ready.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
संकीर्तनम की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परिव्राचार्य स्तोत्र अभय चंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परिव्राचार्य स्तोत्र भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण भगवत श्याम कुंडरा कुंडगिरी गोवर्धन की जय। गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, मधुरा धाम की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवदीप धाम की जय, मायापुर धाम की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की हरि नाम संगीत ऑल ग्लोरीज टू संभव ऑल ग्लोरीज टू संभव ऑल ग्लोरीज टू संभव ऑल ग्लोरीज टू गुरु गौरंग ऑल ग्लोरीज टू प्रभुपाद। श्री 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 नित्यानंद त्रयोदशी महाउत्सवम की जय। प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद।
Thank you, His Grace Bhagwan Govind Prabhu, for the melodious Aarti song, Hari Hari. Now next is Narsimha Aarti is going to happen. Narsimha Aarti song will be sung by Bhakti Priyanka. Over to you, Priyanka. Yes.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya.
शंकर भगवान की जय, श्री श्री भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, इंद्राय 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 भगवान की
जय कृष्ण।
हरि बोल। Thank you Priyanka for wonderful Kirtan. Jai Jai Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. Hare Krishna. Now we are going to focus the beautiful form of the deities in devotees' houses one by one. Starting with the Vrindanandini Mataji's house. Mataji, can you please show your deities? Wow, gorgeous. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय जय श्री गौरंग महाप्रभु नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय जय जगन्नाथ बलराम सुभद्रा माई की जय। नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। लड्डू गोपाल की जय। गौरंग महाप्रभु नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय जय श्री राधा माधव की जय।
Hare Krishna.
So beautiful. जय जय श्री गौरंग महाप्रभु नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। Lotus feet.
कोटि चंद्र सुशीला जय छाया जगत चूरा जय छाया जगत चूरा निताय पद कमला कोटि चंद्र सुशीला निताय पद कमला कोटि चंद्र सुशीला जगत चूरा जय छाया जगत चूरा हेलो निताय
जानवी जीवितापति
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Pranam to all the devotees. Any other devotees, if you want to show your deities, you can show. Otherwise, we are already time up. So, thank you so much to all the devotees for joining with us today. Nityananda Trayodasi Maha-Mahotsava ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Tagore Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sri Rabha Mataji, for very nicely taking up the services and done a wonderful service today. Thank you so much to all the devotees for joining with us. We can seek the blessings from the Lord so that we can all pray to the Lord, Nityananda Prabhu, on this very auspicious day for all our devotees, good health, long life, and we can also simultaneously progress in our Krishna conscious life to continue. So let us chant 3 times for all the devotees. And also I request all the devotees, we have a special cultural program on Saturday between 9 to 12. Request all the devotees, please join with us. And thank you so much once again for patiently waited and stay with us till the end of the program. It is already 1 hour delay. I apologize for the delay. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Let us chant 3 times and we can do the closing prayers and we can end the session today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And also we need a prayer request for His Grace Madana Mohan Prabhu and Deveshri Mataji for their wedding anniversary today. Any other prayers quickly we can announce and we can chant 3 times and we can